My name is Raven Federico. I'm an amateur boxer, and I actually teach all women's classes here to help bring women into the sport and give them more of an idea of what it's like. I moved here with my mom. We moved here from California just to kind of get away from a lot of the things my mom was tied to in California. My mom was actually a recovering addict. My dad was in and out of my life, also a recovering addict. So both of my parents were addicts. My dad was in and out of my life. My mom was very present, but still working on like her demons, getting the help she needed. She still to this day goes to AA meetings. I started school. Girls were just constantly picking on me because the clothes I wore. Like, I remember a girl stopping in the middle of school one day looking at me saying in front of everybody, like, "You've worn those jeans like the last 3 days." Mind you, they were my favorite jeans. They're the only ones that I liked. My mom, we didn't have a lot of things growing up. So a lot of it was, the clothes I did or didn't have and just being Mexican. And I think I started really just like laughing it off. It was just little jokes that they would say here and there, and one person saw it, then more people would jump in, you know what I mean? It was just a spiral thing, and I ended up having to actually move schools because it got so bad. I had a girl try to drag me out of school by my hair, and my mom worked in that school, so we finally kind of had enough, packed up and moved. I said to myself, when I go to this school, I'm fighting everybody, you know what I mean? No one's touching me, no one's saying anything about me, like this is where it stops. And I feel that was the dynamic that really brought all that anger really out, and I didn't know how to deal with it or sort through it, and it kind of ran my world for a little bit. I was mad at teachers. Like, teachers weren't doing anything at the old school, so I was like, I don't trust any of these teachers. Like, I got to the point where I was constantly trying to, it even turned me into a person that I wasn't. Like, I feel like the mean girl for a little bit. Like, it was like, people are hurting me, I want to hurt other people. So like, within that, I kind of see, like, looking back now, like, I seen like, there was times that I wasn't the best human in the world to people, but it was like, I didn't know what else to do. Like, it was, people were laughing, thinking it was fun at that time, making fun of another person. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I should just do that to somebody else, and it's gonna help me in a sense. Like, they all think it's funny. So I really started fighting, getting into trouble in school. The bullying never really stopped. It just became like more quiet, behind my back type deals. I started getting into quite a bit of trouble, getting into fights after I was a little older, going out, going to parties, going to bars. Like, I remember being drunk, that being the only thing I wanted to do was just fight and lash out on somebody because I had all this anger within me. Parents don't normally realize the damage they do within their co-parenting situations. And I actually now have learned that going through mine. I'm very gentle about the things that I say to my daughter. Looking back on my relationship with my parents, hearing things about one or the other both ways, you internalize that because those are your parents, and then you just think, oh, you're a whole failure as a whole, you know what I mean, when both of your parents aren't there in your lives, and they're talking about one or the other. That does get in children's heads. That's what you're hearing, and it's all negative. There's nothing to do with that but be negative and be angry. You internalize a lot of that. The thing that really got me started into all this, I actually had done some searching, trying to find some boxing gyms and things, because I was like, maybe I should do this legally in other ways. And I ended up finding a gym, starting there, took some classes. I think for me, boxing 100% makes me a better person, because when I'm in here, I realize really quick, one, it makes everything seem so small. Once you get into the cage, you hear that cage class behind you. That's real. Nothing else gets more real than that. And then you come in here and you're with real people that know what they're doing, and it has a good way of humbling you. When you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, I feel like that's where you truly find yourself within those. how far can I go? Can I push myself to these limits? You know, am I prepared for these things? Be yourself. Like, don't change for anybody, friends, relationships, nobody. Like, be you and don't let anybody change that.